Yeah, so let's begin with the video series of uh, the analysis of the UPSC ethics paper 2021. So as they have asked in every other year, the question theoretical questions were 13 in number, 10 marks each, so total of 130 marks, and the case studies were 6, 20 marks each, so uh, 120 marks in total. So this was a 3 hour long paper, as all of us know. So in general, I'd say the questions were relatively, I would say, on a medium level, neither very easy nor very difficult. Actually, if you go through the syllabus and if you study this paper in a proper way, then I think it's not much of a you will not face much of the difficulty while handling either the theoretical or the case studies questions. So some of the theoretical questions they have asked in this year's paper were like give me the 5 ethical traits and 10. So these were two different questions, 1A and 1B, at the 5 ethical traits and 10 values, and how these play an important role in the life of a civil servant. So in other years also they have asked the difference between or relation between ethics and values, and so I mean these questions were relatively straightforward. I mean if you have studied, then you should be able to answer it. Similarly, so some of the direct questions were ethics, values, these attitude development, right? If you have studied attitude, the direct question was there. Similarly, integrity, impartiality. These were two different questions, one on integrity, one on impartiality, right? So these are directly the term related questions, right? You need to know the concept and you just directly write on it, right? Some of the issues related questions were the impact of digital technology on rational decision making. Similarly, the refugee issue, right? These were issue related questions. There were three quotes, one by Vivekanand on perseverance, Dalai Lama on peace, and Eric Erickson on interdependence, right? And the other questions were kind of, I would say, you need to apply your concepts, whatever you have learned. You will be taught everything. Generally, we are in our courses, we generally try to do it in a comprehensive way, but then you need to apply those things. I mean, interlink, right? Like you will be taught crisis of conscience and emotional intelligence, but how this emotional intelligence is helpful in dealing with crisis of conscience is something you need to like think about or apply, right? Or when you are writing, then you kind of get to know that how these two terms are related or interlinked, which we generally discuss also in our classes, the interlinking of the concepts and how these concepts are further used and applied in while case studies writing. That also is something one should continuously think about while studying this paper. Similarly, resolving ethical dilemmas with the help of your domain knowledge and innovation or creativity, right? So ethical dilemmas, first of all, you need to know. Then you need to figure out how the creativity, innovation, and knowledge would help you resolve ethical dilemmas. So if you understand properly what is an ethical dilemma, what is a crisis of conscience, what is emotional intelligence, what is their attitude, all of this, see, all of the questions which they have asked, they are you cannot say anything out of the blue or out of the syllabus. They have more or less restricted almost every year around the syllabus only. If at all you study it smartly, you should be able to handle all these questions. very direct. We have generally dealt it always in our classes, so our students shouldn't find difficulty with it. The social audit question is just your this ethics and governance part. So from there they have picked it up, and we generally, when we deal with this ARC reports of ethics and governance, there's a separate report on social audit as well. So we, in generally our transparency accountability class, we always talk about these things apart from your RTI, citizen charter, social audit is one of the things for the transparency and accountability, right? So, so I would say that the questions were like relatively doable. Today we'll just pick one question out of these, and I would like to give my point of view on what is expected, how to understand the psyche behind that question, how to read that question, and what all to address in that question, right? So let's just start. So this one was 6B. Integrity is a value that empowers the human being. Integrity is a value that empowers the human being. Justify with suitable illustration, right? So as you all can see, this is a question, direct question on integrity, right? But then every other question has its specific demand, right? We know that there will be a question asked on integrity, but you cannot write uh, uh, whatever you know on integrity uh, on any damn question related to integrity, right? So you need to understand what the examiner expects of you in one particular question. So the concept is integrity, but let's just see the aspects related to the question. So the keywords in this particular question is, as you can see, integrity, value, empowerment, and human being, right? And then they have asked you to justify with some illustrations, right? So what becomes important here is to first of all know what is integrity, right? It has come from the root word integer, and it's a wholesome quality in an individual, right? What are the different aspects of integrity, like financial, social, and intellectual integrity, right? How it is related to the seemingly seeming concepts like honesty and even probity, right? Integrity is more than honesty. Integrity is more than honesty. So we'll see what exactly is integrity. So just giving you an example, honesty is maybe you were playing a gully cricket, and in hitting one of the ball, you broke someone else's window, right? So you go there and say that I've broken your window. Your neighbor, you go there, apologize, you honestly confess that you have broken the window. Integrity is going a step ahead, and it's like you kind of really, with all your conviction, you feel apologetic towards it. You commit not to do that mistake ever again, and probably if required, you are able to you are willing to actually compensate financially that particular individual, because you feel the pain, the the financial I mean repercussions of whatever your act, right? So that ways, I mean, it's more than honesty, right? So integrity actually, it's a big enough concept. We generally take it maybe a class to actually know all the aspects of integrity. Another example could be like maybe being human, you commit errors, right? It's very, to us is human, we all have must have uh, heard somewhere sometime in our lives, right? But integrity is knowing and accepting your mistake and committing yourselves never to do it ever again, right? So acceptance of error also is a part of integrity, right? So it's more than honesty, and definitely it's a kind of related to probity. Probity is in fact at a higher level, so we'll discuss somewhere in our classes. So so this is all about understanding what exactly is integrity, right? The various aspects of integrity and how it is a value, right? What is a value? First of all, we need to understand. So see, I'm not giving you a solution to this question. I'm not telling you what exactly you have to write, but I'm actually through this question I want to tell you what all aspects are involved in this question, what all you should know uh, for writing a smart and better answer, right? So why integrity is a value? We first of all, what is a value, right? So something which we give importance to, right? So why integrity is a value is something which we need to think about, right? And similarly, what is empowerment? Empowerment is not just the simple muscular strength given to an individual, but empowerment relates to strengthening our holistic being, strengthening our character, how a particular value promotes ethics and our general well-being. And one of the key terms, human beings, right? So one would like kind of not even notice it because of a very generalist character. What is human being? We all are human beings, right? But I'll tell you the very foundation of ethics, as I said, it's a branch of in my earlier videos I have told you that ethics is a branch of philosophy, and the whole foundation of ethics, right, which we study, is humanism, right? So we need to, in fact, in our very earlier classes, we start with humanism first of all to build around ethics. So human beings used here is somewhere related to the trait of humanism, right? What are the pro-social behaviors involved? What are the kind of being human, being born as a human, you are gifted with certain rights, you are gifted with your human dignity, right? Which you always and every time have. Be it you are a criminal, be it you are a normal individual, be it you are a child, be maybe you are a very respected individual, but we all have a human dignity, and the ethics per se revolves around that. So so how come in this particular question we need to actually, these are the things which we somewhere should keep at the back of the mind to write a good answer for this question. So this very question tests or requires us to know how integrity being a value empowers the human being, right? What are the aspects of integrity which actually strengthens the character, not just the ethical trait, but how in fact integrity helps you in your professional business environment as well, right? So so that is a kind of understanding. So then you could illustrate it from your personal, professional, and relation with the society, wherever you would have displayed integrity, or maybe someone else's has displayed, and what did you learn? Especially I want to emphasize on the last 2 points. Generally people know a bit about integrity, maybe they are not able to relate it to empowerment of human beings or so, but they would write something on integrity. But the real thing, the real scoring thing, I would say, knowing these things are important, right? But then when you want that last 1 or 2 marks for as the brownie point to score ahead of your peers, so you need to give certain importance of this particular value, integrity, although they have specifically not asked, but that is what is expected of you to write in this paper. How it is important for a public servant, right? And why just not integrity? You need to go a mile ahead, right? You need to actually say that integrity is one aspect, definitely important, empowers the human being. However, empathy combined with integrity would actually lead to uh, the the idealistic situation, or what I would say, the summum bonum, or I mean, that should be the conclusion, that empathy as well is desired with integrity, right? So as to empower, whatever the question is asked, empower the human beings as such, right? So that is something I would want to tell you through this illustration of a very simple question. And further, in further videos, we'll try to take up one question at a time and then discuss the various aspects around it. Probably I may share certain standard solution. Actually, there is no one size fits solution to, as you all of us know, to one particular question, especially in ethics. But then if you know all these things, if you know all these concepts, then you could tactfully use that happy amalgamation to make a very powerful answer, right? So happy learning. Thank you all.